Louisiana isn't just a place. It's a feeling, a slow, heavy breath rising off the bayou, where the air hangs thick, and the silence never really feels empty. Out here, the water runs dark beneath twisted cypress trees, and the deeper you go, the quieter it gets. Too quiet, like the swamp itself is listening, because in Louisiana, the stories don't stay stories for long. They talk about something moving through the Atchafalaya Basin. Tall, powerful, watching from the tree line. They whisper about shapes beneath the water that don't belong. Something bigger than any gator. And then, there are the things that you don't see. You just hear them. You feel them. You just know that they're there. Maybe it's folklore. Maybe it's something older. But one thing's for sure. If you spend enough time in these swamps, you won't be alone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 50 States of Fear, and welcome to Louisiana.
Down where the black water don't run clear, cypress knees rise like they're praying in fear. Spanish moss hanging like secrets untold. The air feels heavy, like it's watching your soul. Boots hit mud, but the mud don't give. Like something underneath don't want you to live. You hear that splash, but there ain't no rain. Just something out there calling your name. Don't shine that light too deep in the trees. Some things don't like what they see. In the heart of Louisiana where the shadows crawl, there's something in the swamp that don't die at all. From the cypress roots to the river's bend, you don't find it, it finds you in the end. Eyes in the dark just breaking the line, teeth in the water where the moon won't shine. You can run but you won't get far when the bayou knows exactly who you are. They say there's a beast in the Atchafalaya night. Walks like a man, but it ain't built right. Tall as the trees with a breath like death, and it don't make a sound till it's on your steps. And there's something crawling where the waters run black, big old jaws and they ain't turning back. And deep in the fog where the lost souls roam, there's things in the swamp that ain't never going home. You feel that hush when the crickets go still. That ain't silence, that's something that kills. In the heart of Louisiana where the shadows crawl, there's something in the swamp that don't die at all. From the cypress roots to the river's bend, you don't find it, it finds you in the end. Eyes in the dark just breaking the line, teeth in the water where the moon won't shine. You can run but you won't get far when the bayou knows exactly who you are. ain't flesh and bone. Lantern swings, but it don't show truth, just lights up the lies and hides the proof. In the heart of Louisiana, where the shadows breathe, there's something in the dark that don't ever leave. From the muddy banks to the deep back trails, the stories out here that never fail. I'm still watching from the edge of sight, waiting on you every single night. You can pray, you can scream, you can run as far, but the bayou knows exactly who you are.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to 50 States of Fear, Louisiana. What is good? How was your guys' week? We made it, you guys. We made it. All right, you guys, I'm telling you right now, I'm excited about tonight. I really am. Thanks for that. I worked hard on that intro. I was afraid because it was a little long. People might tune out, but this is a live stream, you guys. I want you guys to get amped up and ready to go and hear about what's going on in Louisiana. You guys, I will tell you, I just was kind of checking some things out on one of the old Bigfoot maps, and I'm telling you, Kansas just had a sighting. But we won't talk about that one until after we kind of talk about what's going on in Louisiana. Now, you guys, we're going to cover a couple different things here in Louisiana. I will tell you that. We are going to talk about, I don't know, what would you call a vampire? Would you call a vampire supernatural? Would you call it a cryptid? What would you call it? Because I'm going to read a story from someone in this chat. Back in 1987, they had an encounter with what they believed to be a vampire. And then I'm going to go into a couple little things, going on. Like I actually found a story about two brothers that they were considered vampires. I'll read that story. It's kind of crazy. But before we do that, you guys, it is May 2nd, which means the April membership giveaway is now over. Who wants to know who our third place, our second place, and our first place winners are? Who wants to know? Should I spin now or should I do it like next week? What should I do? I have a yes. I have a let's do it. Okay. All right. Let's spin. So, you guys, I'm going to share the screen here. Hold on 1 second here. All right. Now, can you guys, I'm going to jump over here again. Can you guys see that? Can you guys see the screen? Okay. All right. So here we go, you guys. Ready? So what we're going to do is we're going to go for third place. I'm going to spin the wheel 3 times. The third name that pops up will be the winner of the third place. Now, here's the rules. I'm going to announce them tonight. I'm going to put it on the Facebook group. I'm going to put it on my personal group, on my personal Facebook, and then I'm going to put it in the YouTube community. The winner of each first, second, and third, they have 24 hours to reach me via email, and I will make sure that I put my email out there. If you guys know who the winner is, please reach out to them. Help me, help you, help them get back to me so they can claim their prize. Now, if prizes are not, you know what? I'll give them till Monday. That's the least I gotta do. I'll do it till Monday. If nobody contacts me by Monday, then I'm going to do a re-roll for each one of the places that did not contact me. I'll give them another 48 hours. And if they do not contact me, guess what? All the prizes are going to be held over to the next giveaway, which is going to be July. Okay. All right, guys. So here we go. Third place. This goes for third place. The first spin. All right, here we go. Spin number 2. And finally, the winner, spin 3. Here comes spin number 3. This person will win third place. Valley Parks, congratulations. You are our third place winner for writing that down. If anybody knows who Valley Parks is, I'm going to see if I can try to get a hold of them. But again, if I can't, again, I said I will post it on my personal Facebook, on the Cryptid Podcast group on Facebook, and the community page. All right. So there we go. Now we're going to spin. Now, if you've already won one prize, you cannot win second or first place. You can only win one prize. So here is for second place. We're going to spin 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Here's the winning spin. Round and round it goes. Where it stops, I sure don't know. And the winner is Hack. EAK. Congratulations. Welcome. Or congratulations on winning second place. All right, here we go, guys. This is for first place. Now, what I will do, again, everybody's going to have certain picks that they can pick from, prize things, but I will tell you right offhand, from Ally Coffee Roasters, first place is a 12-pack of their coffee. Second place is 6-pack. Third place is a 3-pack, a third pack. From me, the big prize is going to be first place will get a full set of the Cryptid Kids. Second place will get to select 3 of the Cryptid Kids, and third place will get to select 1 of the Cryptid Kids. And then some other things go along with it as well. Okay, you guys, here we go. Without further ado, let's hit. We're going to do this one 3 times as well. Third name is the winner, first place winner. Here we go. Number 1. Janet Woods. That's the first spin. The second spin. And the third and final spin to determine who is the first place winner for the April membership giveaway. Good luck. Good luck. Lady Kicks 36, congratulations. You have won first place. Just writing those names down. I will be letting once I get confirmation from all 3 winners, I will be contacting Aaron with Ally Coffee. I will be letting um, Partly Cloudy Collectives and Rustic Supply Company. I'll be letting them know who the winners are. And Aaron from Ally Coffee will send your coffee directly to you. So again, everybody, thank you so much for becoming a member in the month of April. And thank you for all of my members who have been members longer than that. So I truly appreciate you guys. And again, I try to do it as fair as possible. So, let's see what's going on. Janet, I wish sorry your name came up on the first spin instead of the third spin, but maybe next time. So, all right, you guys. Let's get into I'm going to read this email that I got from one of these people that I like to think is a very good friend to the show, a great supporter of the show. Everybody who joins me leaves a chat, leaves a comment or a like. You're all great supporters of the channel. I appreciate that. She's very active in chat. And let's read this encounter that happened back in 1987. So the story goes, it was 1987 on summer vacation. My friends and I were heading out to a cafe in the French quarters of New Orleans. We stopped to admire an old abandoned Catholic church. Out of nowhere, and I mean nowhere, there was a man standing in front of us. His focus was on the other female friend. I would say at the time he was maybe 10 feet away. When he stepped closer, well, more like glided, his attention for my friend was strong. The guys we were with started pulling on us girls. I broke my male friend's grip. I felt something was wrong with this dude and got into a fighting stance. Having a few drinks makes one feel pretty brave. My friend started to move fast to the cafe. This pale, lanky, overdressed man started to sniff the air. He looked at me and he hissed. He reminded me of a cat. The scowl on his face. I won't forget that look. I saw his fangs. He flew upwards. I went across the street to join my friends. I told them what I had just seen. One of the guys looked feared. He said, "Josie, the vampire didn't attack you?" He then said, "Do you think it's because of the angel that protects you with its wings when you got caught in the house fire?" He goes, "You were held by an angel. He probably could smell heaven on you." My sister Beth said the same thing. Then she joked with me, saying, "Leave it to you to scare off a vampire." This was the only time we ran into one. Josie, that is bananas. Holy smokes. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if I'd have been able to. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Got to put on a little bit of chapstick here, you guys. All right. Now, I did a little more digging regarding vampires because I've heard the stories. I've played Red Dead Redemption 2. They have a vampire, in a town that's supposed to resemble New Orleans. But I wanted to really kind of hear if there were actually other reports of vampires other than what I've heard. So what I found, I actually found some stuff here. Let's see if this is the one here. No. Yep, this is the page right here. So I got this from a website. Actually, it's hotels.com, and it gives you 10 creepy facts and legends about New Orleans. And this one is called Vampires in New Orleans. Grisly vampiric tales from Royal Street. New Orleans was inspired or has inspired many a vampire novel, but locals believe that the city is the home of real vampires. The most infamous is possibly is it Jacques Street? Germain, a supposedly ageless and charming man who moved to New Orleans in 1902. Stories say blood-stained clothes from different time periods and bottled human blood was found in his home. Additionally, brothers named John and Wayne Carter were executed in 1930 for kidnapping and drinking the blood of young girls until they had died. The gruesome brothers' bodies mysteriously vanished, and since then, reports of their sightings have emerged all over the city. You can visit Royal Street, where all of these men once lived, and decide if the legends are true. Yeah, that kind of makes you want to check it out. I definitely would. Sounds like serial killers. Absolutely, Kristen. Vampires look like he stepped out of the 1800s. That is crazy. That is crazy. So let's go back and let's talk about other strange things that I have found. Now, I know people have been talking to me over the week about the Rougarou and things. I'm gonna get to the Rougarou, trust me. But there's other things that you may not know about. For example, there's this one cryptid that is called Grunch or the Grunch. It's a tale of the Louisiana beast. What's up, Timothy? New Orleans is no exception to when it comes to folklore monsters. The Grunch are said to be humanoid creatures that lurk in the woodlands of East New Orleans. These nocturnal beasts are believed to look like an albino chupacabra, though some claim that they look like goat-headed humans with razor-sharp teeth and claws. No one is entirely sure of their origins, whether they stem from an outcast settlement or are the product of voodoo. But to this day, people claim to hear strange cries and see floating lights over the old Grunch Road. Now be careful driving the streets at night, as it is said that the Grunch lures their victims from their vehicles with injured animals. Okay, you guys, I'm telling you right now, if I'm driving down any road in Louisiana in the future and I see an injured deer or dog, a squirrel, a rabbit, a field mouse, a caterpillar, a worm, an ant, guess what? I'm just driving around it. I'm not stopping. I'm not slowing down. I'm just going to keep on going. It's not happening. Let's see what else we got on here. What? Okay. So let's go and look at some other things that we have. Someone, Mandy, if she's in the chat. What's up, the Eclipse Truth? Mandy sent me a news article. Actually, I'm not going to read this because this happened on April 14th. So I'll read this in a little bit. Let's get to some other things about um, what's coming out of New Orleans. Let's see here. I found some more stuff on the grunch. Here's a better description of the grunch, what we just went over. And this is another take on it. So moving from the see here, as the story goes with the grunch, they say years of inbreeding led to the grunch becoming more and more deformed and less human-like. They're actually claiming that a group of albino dwarfs supposedly retreated into the woods to live in isolation. They're said having sharp teeth, goat legs, and all sorts of abnormalities that would make your skin crawl. They like to hide in tall grass, waiting for prey to prey on unsuspecting teenagers who make the mistake of parking on Grunch Road. See, so here's one of the things, you know, this whole lore of the man with the hook that scratches the door handle or something like that. They're saying one of the creepiest parts of the legend is that the Grunch supposedly uses injured goats, of all things, to lure people out of their cars. Once they leave their car to help the animal, that's when they attack, draining the blood and devouring them whole. They say it's the stuff of nightmares. Now, there's not really any hard evidence to support the existence of these cryptids, but that still doesn't stop the legend from persisting. You think about, Lover's Lane, two young lovers, they're up there, they're talking, and all of a sudden they hear a scratching on the hood of their car or something like that. I mean, come on now. You take it as you want. The Paralanguna, it's a serpentine. It's like an aquatic cryptid. Some say that it has the powers to hypnotize its prey, luring them in close before striking. They say it has a long, slender body, a reptilian head, and humps or coils that protrude from the water. There have been sightings reported by fishermen and hunters dating back in the early 20th century, and some even blame the creature for mysterious disappearances in the area. Again, here's the thing where you have these massive waterways, these large bodies of water, the swamps, the lakes in and around Louisiana, and there's bound to be something. But here's something that, what else lives in the swamps and the lakes and the rivers in Louisiana? A very well-known reptile. Could it be possibly that this cryptid could be mistaken for something else? Who knows? Then you have the Alti. The Alti is a serpentine-like cryptid that has been spotted in swamps and rivers all over southeastern United States, but Louisiana seems to be the real hotspot for this thing, with reports dating back as early as the 1800s. Now, the Alti is usually described as being anywhere between 10 to 30 feet long, with a body that resembles a giant eel or a snake. Some say the head looks like it's a cross between a snake and a horse, with bulging eyes and a mouth full of sharp teeth. Now, it's not something that, I don't know about you, if I'm fishing, that's probably the last thing I ever want to run into. And I know people in here love to go fishing. Yeah, I don't think so. There have been plenty of eyewitnesses over the years, from Native American tribes to early settlers, and they all described a massive serpentine-like creature that's unlike anything they've ever seen before. And even in more recent times, folks have claimed to have spotted the Alti swimming in the murky waters of the swamps, leaving behind a wake and an odd disturbance of the water that they just cannot explain. Some think the Alti could be some kind of, maybe a prehistoric species that managed to survive in the modern day, like a plesiosaurus or a mosasaurus. Anyway, it's more than likely it could be a case of just mistaken identity. You know, maybe they see a giant catfish, maybe they see an alligator. Who knows? But think about it. I saw an alligator, I saw a giant catfish. Yeah, okay, who hasn't? But I think I saw a dinosaur in the swamp. What would you want to hear about? I think I'd want to pick the dinosaur. So now this guy is not only from Florida. Okay. If you guys know where I'm going with this, I'm going to be talking about the skunk ape. Now, skunk ape is also seen, I believe, in southern Georgia, Louisiana. So think about it, that they have a large area that they cover. And it's not just only in the Everglades of Florida. I think that a swamp ape or a skunk ape could be found anywhere if it has any kind of environment that would give them the cover and the comfort and the safety that they rely on to stay out of the prying eyes. But now, sightings of the skunk ape have been reported, like I said, all over the southern United States. Louisiana seems to be a favorite stomping ground. Eyewitnesses have described seeing a large bipedal primate, 6 to 8 feet tall, covered in shaggy hair, dark color, like dark brown, dark black. Um, Even some of them claim that they've seen quite possibly a reddish tint to the fur. And that way, if you think about it, it does kind of set it apart from its cousin in Florida. One of the most talked about skunk ape sightings in Louisiana happened in 2000, when a group of hunters in the Honey Island swamp claimed to have encountered a large ape-like creature that reeked to high heaven. They even managed to get a few seconds of video footage, which I wish I could find, which of course sparked the whole new wave of interests of the legend. Now, despite numerous investigations, expeditions, uh, no one has really been able to find that piece of evidence that that creature, the skunk ape, actually exists. Yes, we've had pictures. We have blurry pictures. We have blob squatch pictures. Now, in Florida, we have some really good photos that I know we've seen time and time again. But why are they not catching the exact same pictures in Louisiana like they do in Florida? Now, here's one that I was kind of, do I talk about it? Do I not talk about it? And I figured I'm going to talk about it. It's called the Cajun Werewolf Doll. Okay. It's a cursed figurine. According to the legend, the doll was created by a powerful Cajun witch using materials like moss and twigs and bones and a small red felt heart. The doll is said to have the ability to transform into a werewolf like creature under the light of the full moon. And whoever possesses it is granted the power to control the beast. But as with most things that are involved with, black magic or witchcraft, there's a catch. The doll is also said to be cursed, and that those who use its power for evil will eventually fall victim to the very creature that they are trying to control. It's kind of like a catch 22. Darned if you do, darned if you don't. So, again, the legend of this doll may not be well known as some of the other well-known legends in Louisiana, but I find it kind of interesting that folklore or a scary story or something like that would come out and you would have a doll that transforms into a werewolf, and if you have in possession of that doll, you can control the creature. I don't know. I do not know. So according to a story, there's a cryptid, a creature that inhabits the swamps of St. Martin's Parish. It's deeply rooted in the colonial era and has ties with Native Americans that called that area, um, called it home. And it's called the Lechi or the Lychee. Now, according to the story, it's a spirit of a young girl who was abandoned in a swamp by her mother, a young native girl. Uh, Unable to survive on her own, the girl was taken in by a family of alligators who raised her as one of their own and taught her the ways of the swamp. Now, as the girl grew older, she transformed into a fearsome creature that just happened to be half what? Half human and half alligator. Down to the scaly skin, razor sharp claws, and the hunger for human flesh. Now, she's said to lurk in the depths of the swamps, waiting for prey upon anyone foolish enough to venture into her domain. Some versions of that legend actually say it's the spirit of the girl's mother cursed to roam the swamp as punishment for abandoning her father. Others see the creature as a manifestation of the Attakapas tribe with their deep connection with the land and the creature. So, I mean, again, this is all folklore. I couldn't find any actual encounters and sightings that would, I guess, back up this tale. I'm sure if I dug really, really deep, I probably could find something. But I mean, if this thing preys upon anybody that join or goes into their domain, I mean, what are you doing? You're out there catching crawdads or catching fish. How do you know you're going into her domain? Are there signs that says "Don't go here"? This is the Lechi's domain. Don't go in here. I don't know, but so that is some of the I guess some of the lore and the legends. But now we're going to get into one called the Honey Island Swamp Monster. Yeah, crawdads are delicious if they're cooked right. If they're cooked right. So when we talk about the Honey Island Swamp Monster, again, it's a cryptid. It's probably a Bigfoot. It was first reported a sighting back in 1963, when a man named Harlan Ford, while out fishing, said that he saw it. Now, what he says he saw was a large bipedal creature covered in gray hair with glowing eyes and a stench that would knock you flat out. But what really got the folks talking, and you guys, when I say this, you guys will understand. We kind of heard of another type of print like this. What really got the people talking was that the footprints left by this creature were three-toed and webbed. It wasn't like anything anybody's ever seen. Some are speculating that it may be some kind of chimpanzee alligator hybrid. I mean, come on. And I'll get into more of Mr. Ford's encounter. But in the 70s, Ford and his buddy Billy Mills claimed to have found a wild boar that had been torn into shreds by the monster. They even made plaster casts of footprints. Eyewitness accounts poured in, described the creature that stood 7 feet tall and weighed over 400 pounds. There was even some film evidence. And again, I wish I could find that exact film, but I couldn't. So that is one part that I saw of the Honey Island monster. Let me see. I know I found another one here. So let's see here. So this is going back to Harlan's encounter. So if you guys are not aware of where the Honey Island swamp is, it is not that far away from New Orleans. And they say that it's the area is unincorporated, it's primitive and untouched by man as anywhere in more so than anywhere else in America. For this reason is some say that it could be possible for a creature to live in these parts and go unnoticed by humans. But apparently it was noticed by somebody. And again, 1963, Mr. Ford and Mr. Mills. Now, Mr. Ford, Harlan Ford, was a retired air traffic controller. If anybody knows anything about air traffic controllers, you have to be very, very vigilant. You have to be very alert and able to see things before other people can. Him and his friend Billy, both veteran hunters, were out in the swamp. Again, they came across the dead boar. The strange creature had apparently ripped the boar's throat out completely. He described the creature as being covered in dingy gray hair with long hair hanging from its head. Again, they said that it was roughly 7 feet tall and close to, if not over 400 pounds. They said that its enormous size and hair was frightening enough, but the amber-colored eyes and horrible stench that reeked from the creature were the two things that stuck the most in Harlan and Billy's minds from this unbelievable encounter. Now, back home, Harlan told his family about the encounter and said it was like nothing I'd ever seen. It was ugly and sinister. It looked like something out of a horror movie. It swung around and it looked at us for a moment and then tore off into the swamp. I want you to know it scared the heck out of me. Now, from his description, again, they say 7 feet tall. Its legs are slender, but its chest and shoulders were huge. And it had long grayish hair on its head and short, dingy hair on the rest of its body. He said that it had unusual looking eyes. They said it was very large. The eyes were very large and amber in colored. And it looked really hard at us before it ran off. While the news of the story spread like wildfire, the locals knew that stories of the ferocious creature goes back hundreds of years. along with other creatures such as the lechi. I know I'm probably saying that wrong. Um, and they're described as meat-eating, human-like creatures that live in the waters and lands. Now, they bring up Cajun lore creatures, the loop-garou, which is like the rougarou, which means werewolf. Now, some of the researchers, they believe that the Honey Island swamp monster is related to Bigfoot, with the body size and description is very similar. The tracks found in and around Honey Island swamp do not resemble tracks collected in the Pacific Northwest. However, we know that the tracks left by the Honey Island swamp monster are similar to what other monster? The Fouke monster. Because the Fouke monster is said to have three-toed prints. And if I'm not mistaken, also to be webbed. So is the Honey Island swamp monster related to the Fouke monster in some way? Or is it possible that they are one and the same? Don't know. So they say that they're four and sometimes three-toed. So they found some four-toed tracks and some three-toed tracks that were found in southeast Texas and parts of Florida. Casts made by Harlan are said to be about 10 to 12 inches long, have three long thin toes set next to each other, and a fourth set back on the side, rather like a thumb. And I actually do have pictures of Harlan with these prints. And so this is Harlan Ford, and these are the prints that he casted. Right. And so that's that one. Now another, it sounds like another a sighting of the Honey Island swamp monster was seen by Mr. Ted Williams, who lived on the bayou most of his life. He was a trapper and a worker on the swamp and worked on the swampland every day. He claims to have seen the creature many times and knew there was more than just one of them. Mr. Williams has said, I could have killed them, but I didn't because they didn't seem to want to harm me. I'd seen them swimming in the river and get out on the bank and then disappear into the swamp. One day while he was fishing, one crossed the river and walked right past him. One day, Ted took his boat deep into the swamp to set trout lines. He was never seen again. No one has ever found him or his boat. Today, the creature is still reported to inhabit the swamp and the bayous along the Peel River. Local lore tells of a train crash. Okay, you guys, remember the last couple lives? I've made a comment about some of the things that people say happens. And what is one thing that always kind of goes hand in hand with these? Okay, here we go. Local lore tells of a train crash that occurred near the swamp in the early 20th century, in which a traveling what? You guys help me out on this. A traveling what? What do we got here? Can anybody guess what I'm about to say? Sabrina. Yep. A traveling circus lost what? Chimpanzees who adapted to the environment and offered a potential explanation as to the creature's origins. I do have another picture that is believed to be the Honey Island swamp monster, and here it is. I mean, I don't really know exactly what it is, but there's that picture. Now we're gonna go and get into. Let's do a little bit of shout outs here. Some shout outs to my buddy, old pal, Aaron. So, real quick, you guys, Owleye Coffee Roasters. That's OWLEYE Coffee Roasters. You guys, they participated in the giveaway. Check them out at owleyecoffee.com. That's OWLEYE coffee.com. And when you do, if you decide to order from them, use the promo code DANO, DANO. That's capital D, capital A, capital N, capital O. You guys will get 15% off of your purchase. And then, if you guys want to, you guys can, and I hope you do, you can check out Rustic Supply Company, Rustic Supply Co. Check out their Etsy shop. I know on a live stream I did the other night, a night chatter, so to speak, or it might have been in the afternoon. I think it was afternoon. We actually looked at their Etsy shop. And if you want to look at their Etsy shop, go to Etsy and then do a search for The Rustic Supply Co. and see all of the products they have on their Etsy shop. Some great, great items, you guys. Paper towel holders, lamps, wall art, cell phone and business card holders, wall hooks, single hooks, double hooks, triple hooks, 5 hooks. Yeah, definitely check it out. And then, let's see, what else do I got here? Let's check out Partly Cloudy Collectives. Partly Cloudy Collectives, they do a lot of handmade crafts that you can hang up on the wall. You can hang up, on a tree for like a Christmas. They do ornaments. They do a bunch of really cool things on there. You can check them out at partlycloudycollectives.com. They have also participated in the giveaway, just like Rustic Supply and Ally. But also, I want to let you guys know that I will be a guest speaker on June 6th in North Little Rock, Arkansas. And I'm trying, while I'm talking to you guys, I'm trying to email myself the flyer so I can show it to you guys. And that's being put on by Drunken Cryptids. And Matt is, he's doing a really good job. Excited. It's June 6th. It's coming up close. I don't know if I have it here. And if I don't, I feel bad, but I should. I'll definitely be posting it on, oh, I think it's it right here. Yep, this is it. Oh, let me send it to myself right here. Let me get over here. Might show me as, let's do this, and get this over here to you guys. Da-da-da. Right. I gotta wait for it to send. That's just wonderful. Oh, do this. Okay. All right, here we go. Here's one. And I'll load this up for you guys as well. And here's number 2. I started doing a thing, you guys. There's a bunch of guys that I follow their podcasts, and I really enjoy watching their podcast. and I want to try to um, definitely want to try to promote other channels with with my show. They're super nice guys. Let me go ahead and put these up here, you guys. I want to show you what I'm talking about here. One more. All right, sorry for the delay, you guys. So this is not something that I'm building, okay? It's not the podcast collective. This is just a group of guys that I really enjoy listening to. We've got Boone County Cryptids, we got Ash's Antics, Old Line Cryptids, the Cosmic Banter Podcast. Steve's out of New Zealand. I had the honor of being interviewed for his channel. Great guy. Nevermore Hollows Podcast, Drunken Cryptids Podcast, of course, Mysteries Unknown, the Boom Boom Room, Ash's Antics Secondary. Then you have Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. And then last but not least, Strange Conspiracies. You guys, check them out. Show them some love if you haven't already done that. Subscribe to their channel. Give them a thumbs up. These guys who really love doing their podcast, and let's kind of show them some love, kind of get their numbers up for them if we can possibly do that. And then here's the flyer, you guys, for the Cryptid Fest, June 6th at Old Bart's, 600 North Broadway Street, North Little Rock, Arkansas, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I'm a guest speaker. I'm not a VIP speaker. We got guys like Todd Neese and that they'll be there speaking. So definitely check it out, you guys. Reach out to Matt Orton, and we'll see if we can. Because I never saw a price on here, but what it costs to get a VIP experience as well. All right, let's get back to the show, you guys. Let's get back to the show. All right. Do this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Let's talk about the Rougarou. Let's talk about that guy. So I did a little searching. I found some stories where people have had an encounter. Some of them I'm kind of like, hey, thanks, Shell. Appreciate that. So this happened. Kristen Wilson, hello. Thank you so much. So this happened to me a few years ago. I was visiting a friend's house in the Houston River area. That section of the river is pretty swampy. So we were frog hunting at night. It was a full moon. So it made spotting the bullfrogs a lot easier. Super tasty, by the way. Yes, they are. Anyways, we're wandering down the riverbank when we heard a sound. It all went quiet. And when I say quiet, not even the crickets were chirping. Then we heard dozens of frogs dive into the water. We knew something was very, very wrong. Then came a distant growl, like something evil from the other side of the river. We killed our Q-beam spotlight and watched in the direction of the sound. What I saw chilled me to the bone. It was like a massive wolf with patchy black fur, yet no visible skin on its head, only a skull with empty eyes. It appeared to be locked onto some other prey, so we shut off our lights and watched for a moment. Looking back, it was really stupid not to run away right then. It ran back into the woods and started running down the river. That's when we decided to dip out and get away as far as possible. Okay, now here's some more information on the Rougarou. The Rougarou. This is just a short little bit of information I found. The occasion tale of the rougarou originates from southern Louisiana and is often told to young children to prevent them from misbehaving. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I appreciate that. We've all had boogeyman stories from our parents telling. If you don't start minding your P's and Q's, this will come in at night and get you. Nice way to get your kids to stop misbehaving. This creature is believed to be human that transforms into a vicious white animal. Variations include wolves, dogs, cattle, even pigs, and it roams the swamps and sugarcane fields. Now, according to the legend, the rougarou causes havoc, kidnapping children, or drinking the blood of unlucky victims. Some believe the rougarou are under a brutal curse from a voodoo witch that upon their death become human again to warn their killer not to reveal the incident for a year. Failure to do so will cause the individual to become the next rougarou. Okay, that is something that I never really heard, but let's read more about the rougarou from this other place that I found. Nope, nothing different. It's the same thing, almost to the exact word. So let's do that, and let's do that. So you guys, that is pretty much. I looked for some rougarou encounters, could not find any. But now we're going to come to the part of the show where I'm going to go and read from different sites actual reports of Bigfoot and Dogman. The first place I'm going to go, let's read Dogman because we're going to finish off, with the rougarou, I guess. And with Louisiana, I'm not sure on this site how many they have. They have 2. Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. Now, this is not saying it's the rougarou. I believe the rougarou is a werewolf. That's what I've heard. That's the things that I've heard in the past. So we're going to be talking about Dogman, and this is in Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. And this is a pretty good one. They're saying that this encounter happened a few years ago in South Jefferson Parish. We call our counties parishes, in case you didn't know that. This person was deer hunting for deer or wild pigs. Out hunting, sorry. Was out hunting deer for wild pigs or deer one night on a protected levee system that was built to protect the town from hurricane floodwaters. He says, as I walked to where the levee turns off to the left, there was a canal. There was a canal woods that was about 100 yards from houses. To the left was a natural ridge that goes out into the swamp and marshes. Well, as I made that turn from the ridge of oak trees, that's when I heard the growl. Let me get a drink here, you guys. He said that's when he heard the growl. I thought it might have been a coyote or a dog, so I walked slower. Then I heard the brush and a small size tree shake, and then another growl. I shined my light in that direction where I heard the sound come from, and that's when I saw a pair of eyes that were reflecting an amber yellowish color. What surprised me was that the fact that the brush was about 6 foot high and the eyes were about a foot above the brush. Now, when I saw those eyes, I slowly backed up while keeping my light on the thing. As I walked back to the turn to head back towards my truck, which was parked about 3/4 of a mile away, it came out of the woods. I lit the thing up with my light again. Now, I was probably 30 feet from it. I saw its whole body and its face. The body was covered with black hair, with some brown mixed in. The hair was thickest around its head, neck, and chest, and upper back. Now, we've heard this description a lot when talking about Dogman. Now, when he said the hair was thickest around its head, neck, chest, and upper back, he said it looked a lot like a lion's mane, but was not as pronounced, since all the hair was the same color. It had pointy ears with a little bit of hair coming off the points, which made its ears seem a lot longer than they actually were. It stood on two legs, but the legs were weird and backwards like. Hey, what's up there, Aaron? The arms were really long, longer than the legs. Its hands were like a mixture of human and bear, like really big raccoon front paws. It had paws, but also had fingers. That's the only way I can describe it. Now, if you ever watch the movie The Howling, you'll get an idea of what this thing really looked like. It's as if whoever made that movie knew something others did not. Now, at this point, I was freaking out. So I pulled my rifle out. I hunted with a Romanian AK with a really cool camo paint job that I did myself. The way I was hunting wasn't exactly legal. That way, let's see, that's why I took my Romanian AK. If I had to toss it into the muck, I wouldn't be out much money. The rounds I used are special rounds made to hunt feral hogs. I've dropped deer and hogs with these rounds before, one shot and they're done. But back to the story. As I pulled up my rifle and ready to shoot, it growled, walked a few steps towards me. I fired a round right into its chest area. I knew I had hit it because the creature took a back step. As it stepped back, I ran towards my truck. That's when it let out a loud growl and a howl like I had never heard before. I grew up hunting and fishing and thought I knew everything in these woods, but I hadn't heard anything that sounds like that. As I ran back to my truck, it stalked me but kept its distance. As I got close to a well-lit area where my truck was parked by the town library and elementary school, it stopped following me. I tried to find anyone who have had similar encounters to the area, but all I could find was the old legends of the Rougarou, which is pronounced Rougarou. I told my grandpa about what had happened, but I told him it was a friend who had told me that it happened to him. I also told him that it sounded like a crazy story. He told me that when he was 17 in the same area at night hunting, that he heard a howl like nothing he had ever heard before. He also told me that something had stalked him as he ran home that night. He said he never saw what it was, but he could hear it following him through the brush and the swamps. I will tell you this, that encounter has changed my life. It's changed my perception of what is real and what is not. And I will never be the same again. I still haven't gotten over that night. I went back a few days later after the incident and found two large dog tracks as big as my hands, and I wear a size large glove. Yeah. Hey, Mandy, right after I get done with this next Dogman encounter, I'm going to read that story you sent me. All right. Rapids Parish. No, Aaron, he was not. All right, here we go, guys. I was 14 years old, and I lived in central Louisiana. at the time. My mother had always been interested in the paranormal. She'd buy copies of UFO magazine, watch documentaries on Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster, etc., etc. So I grew up being interested in things like that and took it for face value. I always believed in them, but I never had any inkling that werewolves, dogmen, or whatever could possibly exist. Now, anyway, I lived in a mobile home park, which is uh, on a two-lane highway, Highway 28 East to be exact. It was a long street with a cul-de-sac type of a dead end. Now, at the dead end to the left was the only brick home in the park. Straight ahead was thin woods and several trails going off in every direction. To the right, slightly, was a deep ditch that people had dumped junk and trash in, like old washing machines, broken laundry baskets, or what have you. A thin metal wire fence ran from the ditch across into the woods and out of sight. We, all the neighborhood kids, had what we called the club. And this is where we would gather and all hang out. Some of us had gathered busted or discarded dining room table chairs, and we'd all place them in the center of the thinnest area of the trees. I'd come out there to figure out where to put everything. Now, beyond the ditch, further into the woods, was a small stream with hills on each side. An enormous old oak tree had fallen beside the stream on the side that I was on. It's when I spotted an old metal folding table near the stream and I went down to inspect it. I thought it would be a really good addition to put into our club and have all of our chairs around it. It seemed like it was in good condition, so I decided to head home. I figured that I would get it the next morning. Well, the next morning came and I made my way down towards the metal wire fence, which somehow, and I don't know why, had been bent on both its top and bottom inwards, like something had grabbed the metal fence, the wires, and squeezed them together. I was about to duck under it when I heard the distinct sound of sniffing. So I turned around to see what it was, and standing on the other side of the stream was a 7 to 8 foot tall creature sniffing the air, and its head was turned slightly. Then, the first thought that I had that entered my mind was, oh my gosh, werewolves are real. It stood on two powerfully built muscular legs, which ended in enormous paws. It had no tail. It had a massive chest, as well as extremely muscular arms and hands. The hands seemed to have the same kind of pads as the paws, but they were arranged differently. It had a wolf-like head and tall pointed ears, and the eyes were glowing red. The ears were in proportion of the head, but it had a snout or muzzle, and it kept sniffing the air as it stepped over the tree trunk like it was nothing. I would have had to physically climb up over the fallen tree just to get over it. I thought it was coming after me. It stopped and seemed to be breathing or panting, but but there was this deep rumbling that accompanied it. I decided to get out of there before it saw me, and I ducked under the fence and ran to my bike, which was parked just off the road, and pedaled my butt home. I never went to those woods again after that. About a month and a half later, maybe 2 months, we moved to Mississippi. It wasn't until many years later that I discovered the term dog man. It scared me, but also started me on this fascination with ancient myths, legends, werewolves, and any other non-Bigfoot cryptids. Now, I will say this, you guys. I will say this. Um, and please correct me if I'm wrong. If we really want to get into the nuts and bolts and things of this, really want to break it down. Lady Kickboxer is here. Okay. Hey, no, you guys, it was Lady Kicks 36. That's the name of one of the members. Lady Kicks 36, not Lady Kickboxer 23. They thought you had won the giveaway, uh, Lady Kickboxer. That is you. So Lady Kicks 36 is actually you. Well, there's our first place winner then. All I need you to do is send me an email with your address. Congratulations. Well, I will send you pictures of what is available for first place. So I will tell you that you have is one through Mitten Man Aaron, who is the owner of Ally Coffee Roasters. You won. Excuse me. I know I'm going to catch heck for that, but I have a sore throat. You won a 12-pack of coffee from Ally Coffee, and they're like packs like this big, and each one of those contains a full pot of coffee. I will. I'll when she emails me, and I'll email her some other things. I'll copy you on the email, Aaron. From me, you'll get a complete set of the Cryptid kids, and I'll send you pictures of those as well. And then there'll be some other ancillary things. You'll get some stuff from Partly Cloudy Collective, and I'll send you that as well. And you won a pretty nice, and I hope I'll show it to you right now. I hope you'll like it. You win. First place wins this. This is from Rustic Supply Company, Rustic Supply Co. And it is a metal sign for the Loveland Frogmen. And you can hang it on your wall, like if you have a garage or a man cave or an office, or who knows, maybe you want to tell your husband that you're just going to hang it over the couch in the living room for all to see. But that's what you win from them. So yeah, there you go. And you'll get some other things too. So congratulations on winning. So all I need you to do is shoot me an email with your address, and then I will reply back. I will take a picture of all the things that you've won and send it to you. Okay. Perfect. So thank you so much. So you guys, let me get back into this real quick. So again, the last story we read about Dogman, the individual said he did not see a tail. But one of the main questions that people always ask me to ask a guest on who has had a Dogman encounter is, did it have a tail? Hey, David, thanks, buddy. So, does Dogman have a tail? Yes or no? A werewolf, I know, does not have a tail. So, what did he see? Did he see the Rougarou? Or did he see a Dogman? Because the Rougarou is reported as not having a tail. So, my guess is he saw the Rougarou. So, yep, absolutely. Everybody who's talking about a Dogman encounter talk about a tail. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and Jenny, I am going to reach out to you and Joe because I had lunch with a good friend of mine today. Some of you people might know who he is, and you're probably going to see me on their show tomorrow night. So, I'll announce that in a little bit. What's up, Figgy? What's good? But, yeah, I'll talk to you guys. I'll shoot you an email. I'll shoot Joe a text, and then we'll do a call or something. So I can, because the person I had lunch with today would like to possibly have you guys come on their show. Okay. All right. Let's get back to some more of these encounters. We got one more thing about dogmen, and then I'm going to let's see what we got here. I'm just gonna see if there's some on this. Okay, so there are some here. So I'm kind of looking for some if they can give me here. Okay, I've just read that one. Okay, that's not in the same state. Okay, so this is in Crowley, Louisiana. The individual reporting this said that they had an encounter with a dog creature in Louisiana swamp. This was in 2010. His German Shepherd hunting dog and himself went out hunting early at around 5:45 a.m. along an old abandoned railroad bridge that crossed the bayou close to his home. It was early and there was a humid fog and it was dark enough not to see anything. As they walked slowly in between the rails of this old set of rusty railroad tracks, his dog's name is Hunter Bone. Hunter Bone stopped and looked ahead down the rails as if he had heard or sensed something. With nothing in view, we continued along only for Hunter Bone to stop abruptly again. I asked him, "What was it, boy? What is it? Is it a raccoon? Is it a rabbit?" Then suddenly, a huge hairy dog thing came out of the fog down the rail, standing on its hind legs, upright. Oh, crap. I was terrified and fearful, raised my Remington 12 gauge and fired 2 rounds of buckshot over this wolf thing's head. The critter howled and then turned and ran back up the rails across the old bridge. I could hear as it snapped the shrubbery and foliage in the distance. Hunter Bone and I ran back towards the pickup truck, and I turned about 50 yards to fire 2 more rounds just for insurance so we would make it home alive. As we got to the pickup truck, we got back. Well, I'm not going to say what he says, but we got back to the main road pretty fast that leads home. As we pulled into the Exxon station, I saw a Louisiana state trooper and explained my ordeal to him. He said that he has had hairy dog creatures running in front of his cruiser at night and it disturbed him greatly, but that this thing always heads off into the woods or jumps off the road. Okay, I'm going to go home and chill out. And as I sat home, I tried to rationalize what the heck it was I had just seen. For one thing, after 25 years of bayou hunting, why the heck did I not ever hear of this creature before? This experience will keep me from hunting alone in the future. It has really rattled my chain for certain. Wow, that is crazy, you guys. The other one that I have here, it looks like there's two more. Um, nope, already read that one. And the last one here. This is in Shreveport, Louisiana. Um, they had, let's see, there's a poultry farm. There are poultry farms located east of Shreveport. November of 2017, there had been an incident of dogman encounters on this farm. They found footprints, dead chickens, sightings, and even the farmer shooting at the creature with shotguns, rifles, and pistols. They even say that there's video was taken by one of the overseers on duty. Uh, that let's see what is that? There are several other farms over in the area that have had these werewolf type encounters, and it's bad for business. We must have the wildlife agents deal with this by tracking them to their lair of residence and terminating the dang things. The frequency of the incidents is more and more. These farmers are not in the mood to have their own livestock torn up by these dogmen, and unless dealt with now, they will do more damage. As far as being broadcast to the general public about these demons and their doings, they are not informed, and the capers that prevail are unchecked by most area farmers and residents. Wow, that is bananas. Now, Mandy, I'm going to read the news article that you sent me because this was pretty recent, you guys. This one was near Lake Charles area. And wait, I want to see if it's on this. Let me see here. There's the Lake Charles area. Nope. No, I don't see it. Okay. Actually, this was on. I can find this on the BFRO, but this is what the local news. This is what is it? KSLA News Channel 12 reported Sasquatch afoot. Bigfoot hunters investigating possible sighting in southeast Louisiana. Westlake, Louisiana, from hogs, deer, and nutria. Southwest Louisiana has its fair share of wildlife. However, one resident spotted something that might leave skeptics scratching their heads. Around 8 p.m. on April 14, a Class A Sasquatch sighting was reported north of Westlake, half a mile from Houston River and I'm not even be able to pronounce it, some river's West Fork. The Facebook post in the Bigfoot Field Research Organizations, the BFRO, reads as follows: 3 miles north of Westlake and Lake Charles, half a mile from continuance of Lake Houston River. The witness, EM, lives beside one of the many dense wooded canals in the area. She was doing yard work up on the higher ground around her home when she had to drop down into the woods beside the canal. That is apparently what triggered the tall Sasquatch to crash away from her through the dense woods and across the canal. She saw enough of the creature to see that it was upright, tall, and had black or dark brown fur. This occurred around 8 p.m. with enough light to see clearly. This area has lots of deer, and currently a bounty of delicious wild blackberries are all over the place. That's amazing. And that was reported on the local news, and that was reported on April 14th. So, I mean, if you think about it, there's a lot of stuff going on, you guys. You have around 16 to 18, maybe even 19 sightings in Ontario, Canada. Then you have, you know, Northeast Ohio. Um, I just looked at, there was a new one that was reported. Um, hey, good night, Bear. Night, Charleston. That was reported, just in Kansas. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on. So let's get in and talk about what's going on here in Lake Charles. They had just put in a new report. It's an older one. This happened in 2016. And it said that what they witnessed was around 7 feet tall. Charleston, you're putting a challenge out there. Got to see if we can get 80 likes, dropping 5 more at 80 likes. Oh, heck. Charleston is laying down a challenge. So this encounter says, first of all, this happened before that store was on the corner the night it happened. Okay, whatever that means. I was riding around with 2 people on a fugitive recovery scouting trip. So this tells me this person is either a bounty hunter or some type of law enforcement. To go get some info on the job, and before getting to the corner of Elliott and Tank Farm Road, we've seen something within the headlights. Bottom half of a torso was illuminated. The top portion had a silhouette of the street lamp down the way, and cleared the road in 2 steps. Then it jumped over a ditch and a 4-foot fence at the same time, cleared it, ended up in a cow pasture. Why this is all going on? A 2-second flash. I hit the brakes, asked everybody in the vehicle, "Did you just see that?" And that was it. There's no other thing. So it's dark reddish brown. So that was pretty interesting. That was the newest report added for this area in Louisiana. Let's see what we got here. Nope, that's not working. Okay, that tells me I can go to BFRO and read that one. Okay, so let's do this. There's a huge concentration up around Alexandria, Louisiana, and I'm talking a very huge concentration. Okay, I'll go to another site for this one because that's where they're referring me to. But before we do that, there's another site I like to go to and kind of pull some stories from there. See if they have any on here. Yep, they got a couple. This one is from Claiborne Parish. Hunting the fall season of 1999. I was hunting with a friend and I saw what I thought was a deer at the edge of the woods. I brought my rifle up and waited for it. Out walked something that I could not tell at first if it was a hunter or the big one. I looked through my scope and noticed that I couldn't recognize hands or any facial features because for one, I was pretty freaked out. Then the Sasquatch walked with ease and ever so quietly in the thicket and never made a sound. Is there any possibility that a Sasquatch could be in Louisiana? Well, I was hunting in Claiborne Parish on 11/16/99, and I believe that yes, I did see a Bigfoot. And then the other one on here is Dry Prong Little River Swamp in Louisiana. Um, I was raised in a small town of Dry Prong, Louisiana. We spent many a nights in the woods camping, most of the time in the swamps around Little River. Well, one night while we were sitting in camp listening to the sounds of the night and watching the lightning bugs as they floated in the still air, all of a sudden the woods came alive with screaming, not like anything I'd ever heard in my life. I know what panthers and wild boars sound like, but this was a sound that I've never heard before and I will never forget. We shined the flashlights out in the direction of the screams, and that's when we saw, or thought we saw, was to say the least something was upsetting. My grandfather and my uncle in were raised in this part of the woods, and I'd never seen them afraid of anything. But this was one time that was different. We should have left right then and there, but we didn't. It had rained earlier in the evening and the road was muddy to travel. We had to spend the night, and what a night it was. I can't remember anything being so darn scared in my life. That thing tore the woods up around us. It screamed and made some of the weirdest noises I've ever heard. I don't think I will ever forget that night, even as I write this 20 years later. I can still hear it. Well, anyway, in the early morning hours, it finally went deeper into the swamp and out of our area. We waited until first light, and with guns in hands, we decided to take a look at whatever was there. The small trees were broken about 6 feet off the ground. Not totally off, just snapped and shoved down. The grass from around them was flattened to the ground, and we looked for some king of footprints, some kind of footprints. What we found, no one will ever believe. They were huge. I have to tell you one thing. I have never heard of a Bigfoot or any other kind of animal at that time, but now I know what it is, and they are definitely out there. This is one night that I will never forget. That's crazy. You guys, I'm going to try to give you guys a couple of more encounters. I don't know if you guys can tell, but my voice is leaving me. Let me give you a couple more encounters, you guys. I'm sorry. I've been trying to fight this cold off all week long. I think I'm on the downside of it. All right, let's talk about Louisiana. Let's see here. Okay, I just read that one. I read that report. Let's see here. Is it Natchitoches? Natchitoches cheese. I hope I'm saying that right. I know I'm not. I'm butchering it. Sucks. It's near Highway 117. It's a really quick encounter. Really quick. They said on the 23rd of June, 2023, I was coming home. As I turned off the highway onto the dirt road I live on, a 7 to 8 foot tall creature crossed the dirt road ahead of me about 50 feet. It was russet brown in color, covered in hair 6 to 8 inches long. It was crossing the road in 2 or 3 steps and it was gone off into the pine trees. I went back to the next day to look for tracks, but I did not find anything. They said the area is planted pine. It's a planted pine plantation and it's hilly. That's a pretty cool one. Sabine Parish. I guess this sounds like it's been spotted in multiple locations because when it asks, what is the nearest town, it says Many, Louisiana. Unless that's a town, Many. Oh, you call it Natchitoches or Knacktown? Okay. Cool. Thanks for not Nacogdoches. There you go. There you go. Nacogdoches. There you go. Thank you. See, why don't they spell it how it sounds? Nacogdoches. I got it. All right, here we go. So, is there a town called Manny? Manny? Okay, thank you. Get up. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for not beating the snot out of me. So this encounter states me and my mom and her boyfriend were driving from Manny, Louisiana, and I was driving. We just passed my aunt's house on 175, about 6 miles down the road. We were coming around the curb and saw this upright creature crossing the road. And when we got up on it, I saw its right arm and leg as it stepped off into the woods. It was freaking huge. I hit the brakes, looked at my mom, and at the same time, we both said, "Did you just see that?" And I looked back and stepped on the gas, and we got out of there. What I saw is, no, it was not human at all, and it had arms. The arms and the hair, when I think about it, it still gives me goosebumps. I no longer go out in that area at night anymore. They said they also noticed, yes, it's not far from there. They were sighting in Pelican. So I don't know if that's another town. I don't know. So, all right. I can't quit on you guys. I gotta do some more for you guys because you guys do so much for me. I gotta stick in here, you guys. Let's check out Natchitoches. Okay, let's try December 2005 near Goldana along Highway 712. Excuse me, 715. Oh, cool, man. Mike, it's good to see you, man. On December 10th, 2005, I went hunting in the, is it Kissatachi? Kissatachi, I hope I'm saying that right, National Forest in Natchitoches. I went in the part of the woods. I went in this part of the woods around 9. I always carry a chair to sit in. I was sitting for about 35 minutes when I seen this very large man walking through the woods. At first look, and it's at my second hard look. Okay, so he did a double take. I was looking to see the background to gauge the size of this person. The thing I noticed was that it was very black, had no hunter's orange on. In the national forest, you must wear an orange vest and hat. It was white from the ground up on each leg, about 12 inches to 20 inches up on both legs. It was about 60 to 80 yards from me, only seen it take about 8 to 9 steps in the open woods. It walked behind a fallen tree and was gone. I was going to raise my gun to get a better look. When it came into the next opening, it never came out of the bush again. I then left. The more I thought about it, I had to go see how big this tree was. It was walking by. I went back the next day, and I would say that this was a 9 to 10 foot tall. I would say it was 9 to 10 feet tall, long legs and arms. I found no footprints or anything on the ground because it was very hard and it had not rained. I did hear something. It was very, very strange. Yeah, there we go. All right, guys, I'm going to read one more. I'm going to read you one more. Let's see here. This is, again, was near Natchitoches, I-49. When I was driving on I-49 between Alexander and Shreveport, this was in the early 1990s. I was coming back from my grandmother's house. It was late in the evening, about 2 hours before dark in the early spring. it has been so long now, and it's hard for me to really remember much else about the time of year, but I do remember the sighting very well. I was heading north about 20 miles from Natchitoches when down in the valley on the right-hand side of the road, there was a fence about 100 yards away next to a piney forest and a burned out patch of woods. That's when I saw a very tall black creature standing on 2 feet. I guess it was well over 6 feet tall from the distance that I can say. That is all I can say about the height. I did not see a face, but I know the woods and the creatures of the forest, and I didn't know what that was. There was a car in front of me, and it started to slow down, so I started to pass him, and he looked at me, and I looked at him, and he must have seen it as well because he gave me this look and the way that he shook his head. So we went on to Natchitoches, and I started to pull over at the gas station, and he followed me. When we stopped, he asked me if I had seen it also, and I said yes. He's from out of state, Missouri, to be in correct. Uh, and he said that said what he had seen that, but I never got his name. We just said that neither of us had ever seen anything like that. I've seen bears, well, a few of them anyway, and that was not a bear. When I got home, I told my parents what I had seen, and they laughed at me, but then looked and saw that I was serious. You can ask them about it. I've only told a few people about it since, but travel that way often and can go to the exact spot each time and show you uh, where it was that I saw it. Hmm. All right. Well, you guys, sorry guys, I was trying to give you guys as much of me as I could tonight. But yeah, my voice is SHOT. I don't want to sit here and guzzle water the whole time and keep popping cough drops into my throat, into my mouth, and hear that all clunking around. But you guys, thank you so much for coming on. You guys want to stick around for the outro? I played this for Franklin, and he said I should make this song the outro. I feel better, you guys. I don't have any body aches, no fever, nothing like that. It's just I'm trying to get rid of this cough, trying to get rid of the sore throat, and pretty much what it is, it went from a cold and then my sinuses. So I have allergies, and we have this pollen coming around, and it's a constant, just ruthless cycle. Stuff up, drain, and it just keeps going down when you're sleeping, and I'm up coughing most of the night. So zinc, I got some zinc. Trust me. I know about zinc. It tastes like crap, but I've got those zinc lozenges that I usually put one in before I go to bed. So yeah, man, those are no good. But guys, thank you so much. Before I get out of here, I just want to say again, thank you so much for all the support you guys show the channel. I can't stress enough. Thank you. Let's go back over the groups that make these memberships possible, these membership giveaways possible. Ally Coffee Roasters, allycoffee.com. You guys, please check out their site and please order some coffee from Aaron. Aaron is such a great person, and they are a local business. What I mean that is they're based in Cadillac, Michigan, a small business in a small town, doing great things in the community. If you guys do do purchase at checkout, you guys need to put in the promo code DANO, DANO, and you guys will get 15% off your order. Rustic Supply Company. Check them out on their Etsy shop at www.etsy.com/shop, or you can just type in www.etsy.com, go to the little search bar or search area, and then type in the Rustic Supply Co., or check them out on the rusticsupplycompany.com. Partly Cloudy Collective, you guys check them out. They have some really good stuff in there, honestly. I think I might be buying some things to put more Bigfoot ornaments on my Christmas tree that my wife really tries to hide him in the back so no one can see him, and I always move him around to the front. Don't forget, June 6th, you guys, I'll be at the Arkansas Cryptid Fest at Old Bart's, 600 North Broadway Street in North Little Rock, Arkansas, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I will be a guest speaker. But before that, if you guys check out, you guys want to go to the meet and greet that me, Josh, and Cody are going to be going at. Oh, that's what we'll be hosting at the Green Door Collectibles in Knoxville, Tennessee. More information is what time we'll be doing that, but that's where we will be. You guys show these podcasts some love. Boone County Cryptid, Strange Conspiracies, Myths, Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. Ash's Antics, if you like video games, and the Boom Boom Room. It's not a nightclub, you guys. It's a pretty cool podcast where he has people coming on talking about cryptids and other things. Of course, you guys know Mysteries Unknown. My bro Josh, check out his channel if you haven't already done so. Drunken Cryptids, who's hosting the Arkansas Cryptid Fest. Check out Drunken Cryptids. If you guys love like scary stories, like suspenseful stories, check out Nevermore Hollows podcast. Amazing story. I am addicted to it. Every time they put a new episode out, I listen to it, and then I go back and listen to other older stories that I've already listened to, because it really catches my attention. Don't forget the Cosmic Banter podcast. They're located in New Zealand, you guys. Very new podcast. Some really good stories on there. So definitely check them out. And then last but not least, check out Old Line Cryptids. We know those guys. Give them a shout out. Give them a subscribe. You know, all it's going to take you guys is maybe 5 minutes to go to each one of these podcasts and hit subscribe if you haven't already done so. You guys, let's thank the following people. I want to thank Gwen Hunt for the $10. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're a new member. Thank you for the membership and the $10. Thank you so much. Charleston, you dropped the first time 5 gifted memberships. So all the new members that got those 5 gifted memberships, welcome aboard. And then Kristen Wilson drops a $20 bill. Thank you so much, Kristen. I am so appreciative of you for doing that. Again, it's not required. It's not expected, but it is truly appreciated. And then Charleston laid down a challenge, I would say, and he dropped another 10 gifted memberships to the Cryptid podcast. So again, thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate all the support. You are a great friend to the channel and one of the great moderators that I have. I have a great group of moderators, you guys. I really do. And again, the 10 people that received those gifted memberships, welcome aboard. You guys, that's my time. I am literally out of gas, you guys. So I just want to say thank you so much, you guys, for sticking around. Stick around for this outro, you guys. You guys remember, like Josh always says, stay prayed up. You know what? I'm going to do right here, right now. You guys, let me say a prayer for you guys. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing us to come together and listen to some stories. Listen to this guy with a bad voice talk. Lord, you are the reason we are here. You are the reason why we do the things that we do, because you have a path for us, Lord, and we follow the path as faithfully as we possibly can. People out there, Lord, are having problems right now, whether it be financially, health-wise, physically, mentally. Lord, I just ask you bless them, Lord. Bring them peace, bring them comfort, bring them healing, strength, and courage, Lord, so they can face all of the challenges that they're facing every single day. We know you are a just God and you're a gracious God. We just thank you so much for everything you do for us. Lord, I ask you just go to all of their families and continue to bless their families and let them know you're with them. Keep them safe. Keep them strong, Lord. And just know that, they long to feel your presence, Lord. So show them that you're with them. Thank you for all the blessings you bestowed upon my family. Thank you for protecting my family, my wife, my children, my beautiful grandchildren, and the rest of my family and friends. In your name I pray, Heavenly Father. Amen. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for all the things you guys do for the channel. Thank you so much. And you guys, like Josh always says from Mysteries Unknown, stay prayed up. And as I always like to say, remember, a legend begins with a sighting. You guys, I hope you enjoy the outro. I'll see you on the next show. I don't know, what are we doing next? I don't even know. I don't remember what state. We're going to have a good day, though, guys. Have a great day.
Don't stop running. It hears you. Moon cut sharp through the cypress trees. Black water moving, but it ain't the breeze. Something big just broke that line, and it's following tracks that look like mine. Feel that heat, breath on your back. You ain't alone on this dirt road track. Run through the bayou, don't slow down. Something out here don't want you around. Eyes in the dark and they glow like fire. You can't outrun what never gets tired. Banjo cracking like a warning call. Echoes ring through the trees and all. Honey Island creature cross your trail. Rougarou stalk and your nerve goes pale. Hear that snap just off the side. That ain't the wind, you better hide. Run through the bayou, don't slow down. Shadows close and it's right on you now. You can pray, you can scream, you can try to fight, but it owns these woods and it hunts at night. Demons in the broken dark. Devil man walking with a twisted mark. Parlangua Howard where the swamp runs wide, and the black beast waiting on the other side. Run, don't slip, don't fall, don't look. Every step's another page in the book. Made it out. Or did you?
And just like that, the night begins to close in. The fire burns a little lower. The woods grow quiet again. But if you've learned anything tonight, it's that silence doesn't mean you're alone. Somewhere out there, beyond the tree line, down that forgotten road, deep in the places maps don't like to go, something is still moving, still watching, still waiting. I want to thank each and every one of you for spending your night with me here on the Cryptid podcast. Whether you joined us live, shared your thoughts in the chat, or you're catching this later, you're part of this journey now. And remember, these stories don't belong to fear. They belong to the witnesses, to the hunters who stopped hunting, to the hikers who never went back, to the people who looked into the dark and realized the dark looked back. If you've had an encounter with Bigfoot, Dogman, or something you can't explain, your story matters. And one day, it may be told right here on the Cryptid podcast. Until next time, keep your eyes on the tree line, trust your instincts, and never ignore that feeling that tells you you're not alone. I'm Dano, and this is the Cryptid podcast. Good night, everyone.